Hi there, welcome back to Motus Tips. I'm Arkady Friedman, the founder for Motus Media, and I'm super excited to have Kiran Goojha with us, the Director of Digital Marketing Strategy. Nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you too. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely, I'm super excited about your new role at Daddario, and lots of questions to ask you, and I know you have a lot to share, with me and with the viewers. So I guess to start out, I know your title of your new role. Maybe you could just tell me a little bit about Daddario first and what you're doing at Daddario.
Sure. So Daddario is the largest global manufacturer of music accessories, and what that means is they make anything that you need to play your instrument. They make, whether it's strings, whether it's the mouthpieces for your woodwind instrument, whether it's the mallets that you need for your large for your timpani. They make them, and they've been around for 400 years. They've been in the US for over 100 years, and I recently joined them to help lead their digital strategy.
That's very nice. And whenever I think of, and I'm not in the music industry, I think of the strings first. But now, I know that they do a lot more than strings, and they've got some amazing artists that they work with, the top names, and even some startup bands are, affiliated with them. Because we're focused more on kind of the marketing and strategy side, can you give me a little bit of a background on, what Daddario is doing now, what they've done in the past, and maybe some highlights of what you think they're going to be doing, or what you can share, obviously, in terms of strategy for the future?
Sure. So one of the reasons why I'm really excited to be on the Daddario marketing team is because they're looking at digital strategy from a really strategic way, and they're looking at it from both building out the right resources, hiring people with the right capabilities, and trying to implement best-in-class tactics in order to kind of build their digital presence.
So really a holistic view, almost like an agency would come in and look at it from a 360 perspective.
That is correct. Actually, the head of the marketing, their CMO, comes from an agency background and is bringing a lot of that mentality into how the department is structured.
That's great.
I'm going to be there to help lead their digital strategies, and it's actually great that they are also really focused on the creative and the brand strategy. So that's already set up, so it's now a matter of taking those, all of the audience development, all of the messaging, all of the positioning for the company, all of the product stories, and then bringing that into a digital story.
That's really great. And I've known you for a while now, and I've worked a little bit with you in the past, and I know that you're very much into kind of the details and technology. And you also work with university, I know, to develop a curriculum, right? I think it's Columbia.
Yes, it's my alma mater, Columbia University. Is their master's in strategic communications. And I worked with them last year to develop a brand new media and digital media and analytics course, and which they just started teaching in spring 2018.
Very nice. It's exciting.
Yeah.
So if I was a student in your class, or this class that you're developing, what would you say are kind of the top things to look out for in a marketing plan if you were to be brought on to Daddario?
So the first thing, with any kind of digital marketing is essentially just marketing within using digital channels. The first and foremost is with any good marketing plan or any good marketing strategy, you need to understand who your audience is and where they play.
Sure.
So having that set up and knowing where your consumers, your users, your thought leaders are will help inform what channels you're going to be putting forth your messages in. So that's one. Secondly is making sure that you have your resources set up internally, and knowing whether or not you have internally the staff to manage all of the channels and all the platforms that you're going to be putting your messages on.
Absolutely.
Or working with someone like you to handle certain aspects that you don't have internal staff for.
Right.
And then thirdly, you need to know what you're measuring. You need to have those analytics your KPIs set out. So that way, and that's actually one of the key features of the course, that analytics section of it, so that students can, or then the students are actually working professionals, since this is a professional graduate program, so that they understand that it's not just about having like a really cool GIF message that you hope might go viral, but understanding like what's the purpose of having that particular type of creative up on a social channel, who you're trying to reach, like what are you trying to get out of it? Is it driving, brand awareness, which is a very like fuzzy metric, but it's still a metric that you should at least have that as a base KPI.
Sure. I mean, you could break brand awareness down too into engagement and click-through rates and all of those great things that we offer and that And it's so great that students now can learn about this in a measurable way and learn all the technologies from somebody like you. I mean, I wish I had that course in college. I didn't have any of those tools. I mean, I learned it on my own.
Same.
Yeah.
Which is why one of the reasons why when they approached me to like build out this course, I was super excited because I basically looked at it as, what would I have wanted to learn in school? Like, because as much as people might fight against it, I don't think there's been much of a fight. Technology is basically dictating the way that we do marketing, and I think people need to stop thinking about marketing as like brand strategy or whatever, and digital is siloed. It's all part and parcel of the same package, and that's just the way that you do marketing. So it's less about a segment of like how you do marketing and more about just like part of the entire package. I mean, there's always going to be a case for like traditional media, for print media, because certain industries do rely on that more like in-person, like tactile way to reach their consumer. But
absolutely.
But they will all still need to mirror or like have digital, like a digital presence and a digital strategy as part of that engagement.
That's really great. So some really good top line hints and tips from you. And what I'd like to talk, so we're going to end this segment and we'll have another segment coming up after. I hope all the viewers will go and click on the next segment. We'll talk about more creative things that Daddario is doing, and also talking about some of the goodwill segments that they're focused on. So thanks, and come back for the second portion.